What's going on, guys? It's your boy SendIt SimRacing, aka the Retro Dynamo, back with another video. And today, I'm giving myself a little bit of a treat. In the last video, you guys may recall, I was racing in that slow sedan and I expressed the desire to be in a more powerful muscle car. Preferably the Mustang, like I said, and the Mustang is my favorite car, and being an American, I'm thinking that it's time to try to tame this American car on the track. And fun fact, my very first car was a Ford Mustang, a red one. So today, man, I'm going to be taking this American car and we're going to be doing some GT track racing, and I'm gonna see if I can tame this car on this track and see how this thing goes. Can't say that this was the best race I've ever had, but I am happy to be back in a more powerful car. This is the original Assetto Corsa, and today for me is stick shift day. I don't have any camera footage of me, webcam footage. I haven't shaved. I look terrible, guys, but this is a stick shift day for me. I alternate days between playing with the stick shift and with the pedal shifters, and the days that I record with and play with the pedal shifters is when I'll be playing Assetto Corsa Competizione. So again, this is me, first time racing in the Mustang, and going forward, even on Assetto Corsa Competizione, I will be using a Mustang in that game also. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. This is a 10-lap race at the Monza. There are 10 cars participating in this race, including myself. I decided to start out P5 right in the middle of the pack, being that this is, just getting started on Assetto Corsa with some real serious racing. I get a pretty good takeoff here. I'm trying my best not to hit these cars because this is the very first video I recorded of the gameplay for today, but this wasn't the first race. And man, I kept slamming into the back of these cars as I didn't know what setup I wanted to go with. So I got online and I started to look for different setups. Now the setup I'm using for this Mustang today is actually a setup that I got from a guy who was recommending setups from Assetto Corsa Competizione. So I didn't know if it would transfer. And after playing on this setup, I'm thinking that I need to go back to the drawing board and find a setup that's specifically made for the original Assetto Corsa. As I take a few spots, I'm in position 4 now. So, but like I was saying, I think I need to go with a better setup. What's happening is that, the muscle cars in general and the Mustang specifically is already hard enough to handle in turns and curves, but the setup I have now makes it very unresponsive when braking. The car tends to slide to one side or try to go to one side as I almost make contact with this car. In this blue GTR that you guys see right here, this car, I realize, I don't know if it's a programming, because I am going against the CPU right now, but no matter how many times I played against this car always brakes in front of me. It seems to drive perfectly normal until I close distance and I'm preparing to pass it. I don't know if this AI is simulating a car who's purposely trying not to be passed, but I bump into him here. And it's not like I did it on purpose, guys, but this car just, you'll see it's going to keep doing the same thing. And I promise you, I'm doing everything I can not to bump into the back of this car, but keep an eye on that, guys. But like I said, this setup is causing my car to sway to one side a lot of times when I'm braking. And I think I need to go back to the drawing board. All in all, I'm satisfied with this session and what I learned in it. Again, guys, I want to stress to anybody who may be new that I'm not an experienced sim racer. I'm still learning. One thing I was very proud of was about me learning my racing lines. I think I did a pretty good job at following the preferred racing lines in this game, but I'm learning to keep speed better as far as my gears. I do have to get used to shifting here, and eventually I'll start to practice the heel toe technique when I downshift, because right now I don't do that, and the car makes a weird revving sound. You guys may hear that, and I think that has something to do with me and my shifting. I like Assetto Corsa because it's so realistic versus Forza, which I came from, and this game it makes you really concentrate on what you're doing because these cars react so realistically, and for the most part, I think I raced pretty good. I did run into some trouble in this race. You guys will see that coming up. But all in all, I'm satisfied with this game. I'm very, very happy with the driving. It's very fun to drive these cars. But the reason I decided to switch over to the Mustang is because, again, I am American and the Mustang is my favorite car. And just some insight in my mindset. I love racing. I love all types of racing. Of course, growing up in America, there was a lot of NASCAR watching in my household. And I didn't really get into GT and different types of touring races like, you know, the European circuits until I was an adult. But I love all types of racing. And as you guys can see, I play Assetto Corsa and Forza, and I'm thinking about getting, well, I will get Project Motor Racing. So you guys can understand how much I actually like GT racing now. So, but with that being said, after doing all my research on these cars, I realized that the European cars have an extreme advantage in these types of races, which is no surprise because you know, they originated in the European demographic or, you know, geographic locations. But I really want to see American cars do great in these types of races, especially the Mustang, being that the Mustang has a rich history in motorsports. As I spin out, guys, like, this was terrible and this would kill my race. I was in P4 and look at this. I can't get it together to save my life. Eventually I'll get this car back on the track and just look at this. Like, I'm spinning out, I'm spinning other people out. I'm hoping I don't get penalized because I got disqualified a few times before I recorded this race. But now I'm P10, as you guys can see, and there's no chance that I'll win this race now. I think it looks like I'm on lap 2 of 10. At the most, I can hope the best I can hope for is to get back where I was or better. As I immediately take a spot and go to P9, I'm walking them down. That's what I love about the American cars, is that straightaway speed, and I'm trying to find a way to balance that and master this car, understanding that I won't be the best in turns, but to be the best I can be in turns and maximize exits with the superior speed of the muscle cars and straightaways. That is my goal. But I want to see these cars do great in these types of races to represent America. And the Mustang has a rich history in motorsports. And the Mustang and Ford in general, they're a very competitive company. And this is one of the reasons why the Mustang is my favorite car, because any type of racing you can think of, the Mustang is there. Ford makes sure the Mustang is there. And if not just Ford, people that love Mustang drivers make sure Mustang is represented in most types of motorsports, even down to, and I'm not in any way promoting it, but like street racing. You know, if you go to any street racing scene, you'll find Mustangs out there. And that's because the Mustang has a rich history of being a very competitive car, whether it's the makers, the drivers, or in sanctioned competition. So that's kind of what I want for this car. And like I said, I will be going forward even in a Assetto Corsa Competizione, Project Motor Racing. I plan to drive the Mustang and I plan to master this car. And as I make contact again, I'm hoping I don't get disqualified again. At this point, it's hard for me to even concentrate on driving well because I keep sliding into these cars. I don't know if that's because my ABS isn't, I don't have traction control on at all. And I don't know if my ABS is the reason why I'm sliding, or is it this setup that I'm currently using. But I'm going to go back to the drawing board and tweak some settings to find out if I can stop this sliding of this car, because I'm not the best driver in the world, but I promise you I'm definitely not trying to run into the back of these cars the way I'm doing. And hopefully I can figure that out soon. I'm on lap 3 of 10. I think I'm going to be 4 on the 4th lap after I pass the finish line again. But again, I really just want to, have these cars represented. When I watch a lot of the other YouTubers online, these guys, they play with BMWs. And I think the BMW is by far the most popular touring car there is. And I see a lot of Mercedes, I see a lot of Porsches, and those are great cars, don't get me wrong. And that's what I love about GT racing, is how you can have these different cars going up against each other, representing their country of origin. And that's what I love most about it. And being an American, I would like to see the American cars get some love. And being that I am a Mustang guy, I decided to go with the Mustang. As you guys can see, I started off on Forza with the Corvette because I did my research to find out the Corvette is actually a better handling car than the Mustang. But my roots, I'm going back to my roots, man. I fell in love with the sports cars, with the Mustang. So this is where I want my sim racing career to start, and I want to master this car. So even if the Mustang isn't the best GT car, I want to bring out the most that this car has to offer in these types of races. So I'll keep playing with this car until I understand exactly how to maximize its capabilities. But I'm in P7, so somewhere along the lines I've taken a few spots, at least 3, and I'm closing in on this car. See, my racing lines are getting much better on this track, and I'm starting to know where the different turns are. I'm learning this track. It's not that long at all, and I'm walking these cars down. And as I spin out, that's another thing that I was doing and I didn't realize was I was having way too much acceleration coming out of these turns, and it was causing my back end to spin out with the with the American cars and the Mustang being so powerful on the back end. And some point throughout this race, I'm going to learn my lesson, and that's how I spun out earlier. It was just having way too much throttle coming out of these turns. And as I run back into this GTR, every time I see this GTR, I get PTSD. I get shortness of breath because I know that this car is programmed to hinder me, right? He's the bane of my existence at this point. So I'm going to be cautious. I know that I can catch him in this straightaway, though he is kind of pulling away. His speed is impressive right now, but I just love that fact that these American cars do have a lot of power on these straightaways. And I pass him. Luckily, I pass him, and you guys are going to see I slide here because I came in that turn with so much speed, but I'm able to slide and semi-drift and get it back together, though I went off track. And I don't know if I was penalized there. I probably was. More than likely, I probably was. But I was so hell-bent on getting past that GTR. But right now, I'm kind of by myself. And for the next few laps, it's going to be like this, guys. I got to admit, I'm going to do some horrible driving soon. I have to admit to you guys and give you a warning. I don't know what was going on. I'm still trying to get used to this game. This is actually, this is a brand new sim that I'm playing. I'm going from Forza to Assetto Corsa in a brand new car with a brand new setting. So this race was really like me just jumping in the deep end of the pool. I had to sink or swim with this one, and I'm struggling, but I think I didn't swim, but I think I was able to doggy paddle. Yes, I was definitely able to doggy paddle. I didn't drown, right? So the car in front of me, I think, is a Porsche, and it has pretty good speed. Of course, it has great handling, and I can't even see him. At times, I'll close the distance as I learn these different braking zones, and I'm more effective at actually closing the distance. This is just a horrible turn by me. I can't figure out these turns, and if you guys don't mind, I would love some advice. I think I need to, when it gets to those turns get that steep in those turns, I need to, I think, downshift to first. But in due time, and I also, like I said, I want to practice the heel toe, because right now I'm just regularly downshifting because this is a video game. I don't have to heel toe to downshift. Not that you have to heel toe in real life to downshift in a standard car, but you do want to heel toe when you're racing, because it actually, when you downshift and you heel toe, you actually settle the car better. There's not an awkward moment where the car jerks or stalls or have any awkward moment. Heel toe keeps the car perfectly balanced while you downshift, and that's good for braking, because you want the car as settled as possible when braking. And as I approach this turn, I think I'm closing the distance with this car in front of me. But it's, that car is extremely fast, and it's not easy to catch. The GTR, as I look in my rear view, he's nowhere near me. I don't think that GTR is ever going to catch up. But I want you guys to let me know what you think about, my goals. How do you guys see the American cars? I know that most people, even most Americans I see online, they play with the European cars. And again, this is not a shot or a dig at the European cars. I think they're great. And this is one of the main reasons why I want to see the Mustang be able to be competitive with these cars. And that's because I know that these cars are great and they're built for these types of races. And it would do my heart, a lot of justice and bring a lot of joy to know that the Mustang is able to keep up in these type of races. We know the Mustang can perform well in drag races. Even if you were to put the Mustang in an oval, in a NASCAR type of race, the Mustang would do well because it does very well in a straight line. But I would like to know that these cars can also compete at the highest level in these types of races. Now, I know they have the GT4 cars and the GT3 Mustang, which is doing pretty well in these different types of endurance races, but I don't know. Like I said, that's part of my brand. You guys know I'm the Retro Dynamo. And as I spin out again, guys, I'm just giving way too much throttle on some of these exits. I really have to get that under control. And I think that I'll do much better in races when I'm not making these small mistakes. But, in time, you learn things in time. So I'm giving myself that grace that I'll learn. But I would like for you guys to let me know what you guys think about, my endeavor on bringing this car to some type of prestige, right? Because I am the Retro Dynamo. I use a stick shift. I'm the guy that's going to use a stick shift. But even going forward to when I'm in GT cars with paddles, I still want to be using the Mustang, to kind of set my marker. Because I think it's a great thing that, with sim racing, that guys from all over the world, if they choose so, I think it would be more entertaining if guys were to race in the cars that represent their home country. I just think that adds a whole nother element to the race. You know what I mean? Like bragging rights. It's a lot of pride on the line, because that's how I feel when I step into when I get into this Mustang. There's a lot of pride, man. I really want to win. I really want to win when I'm inside of a Mustang. I don't even know if I would have that same type of competitiveness in another car. It would be more about just racing and having fun. But when I'm in a Mustang, man, I'm trying to win. And like I said, my very first car was a red 2000 Mustang GT. To this day, it was the fastest car I've ever had. I've had another Mustang, which was a bit newer than that one. I had an 05 Mustang GT. But I like the 2000 GT much better because, one, it was a manual, and the 2005 Mustang was an automatic. So I didn't have as much fun driving it. And I know that on paper, the 05 GT should have been faster than the 2000 GT, but that was not the case, man. The 2000 GT was so fast, man. I won so many races. And again, I'm not proud to say this and I'm not promoting it, but in my early 20s, yeah, I used to race on the streets, and I've won so many races against cars that I probably wasn't supposed to win against. But again, driving this car, even in a simulation, just brings back memories. And I'm just, I'm beside myself. And I'm excited going forward, knowing that I've made this decision that I will be using the Mustang to represent me, and I'll be representing the Mustang going forward in my sim racing career. And I look forward to, seeing how far I can go with this, because most of the time I watch guys who are very good at this game. They're racing in cars that are much more suited for these tracks, and, much more better handling. And I would like to be somebody who is known for not only using the stick shift as the Retro Dynamo, but all American racing in the muscle cars. Yes, that's me. And as I realized that I just don't see this Porsche at all. If I recall correctly, I will start to close the distance with him, because towards the end of this race, I had a lot of laps to and as I lose control again, this is what I was talking about the braking. Sometimes with the setup that I have, like braking in a straight line is not possible, and I have to go back and tweak the settings. I think it has something to do with my springs or the camber. I think it's the camber. But yeah, I will catch this car, because at some point of racing all of these laps, I started to learn where I can maintain speed throughout the track and maximize the advantages of this car, because I'm learning that when you're driving a car like the Mustang that isn't the best in turns, you have to absolutely maximize the speed, maintain speed throughout the course when you can. The one thing you don't want to do when you're driving a car like this is you don't want to slow down in sectors that you don't have to, because slowing down when you have to slow down is going to be slow enough in this car. So I think you want to try to maintain speed as much as you can. And I know that's true for every car, but I think even more so with a muscle car that isn't the best in turns. You want to maximize the amount of time you can actually open it up and take advantage of its speed. And I'm starting to see this Porsche a little better now, and catching up to it slowly but surely. Hopefully, as I completely, I went down to first gear that time to see if that would help me turn better, and it was better, but I have to do better in that small section of the track. And if you guys can see now, like, I'm learning that I can shift up right here and just maximize that speed and kick myself all the way out to that outside, break it back down, and get ready for the turn in second gear again. I'm really learning this track and getting the hang of it. And as you can see, as a result, I'm really catching up to this car in front of me. And with my speed advantage, catching this car shouldn't be hard at all. It's mostly mistakes that I'm making that's causing me to fall behind, and I probably should have caught this car a long time ago. But I'm looking forward to learning this car again, and I'm looking forward to games like Project Motor Racing. I'm hoping, I don't have a lot of subscribers, of course, as you guys can see, but I'm hoping to build a small community and be able to race with everybody. That's why I'm so excited about Project Motor Racing. I never want to be some type of person when I do start the live stream that I can't race with anybody who wants to race with me. I would like to be able to race with every single person that is watching. So hopefully that'll be the case when that game does come out. But I'm getting closer to this car. But I'm guessing this Porsche has good speed too, because it is able to create a distance whenever it does, get out in front. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna catch this guy. But I did learn a lot. I took a lot from this race. I learned a lot about turning. I learned about being patient on my exits and not giving it so much throttle that I spin out. And I think I did well. As far as racing go, this is probably the best I've ever utilized the racing lines, meaning that I was consistent on being in the right places on the track and using the whole track. Now, I'm not as good as some of the guys I see online or the professional racers, of course, but for me, this was a very successful practice session in terms of using the racing lines and using the whole track. And I think that I can build off this, and going forward, I think that my races will get better and better. And I can't wait to kick out some more content. I tried to go live, guys, and it didn't work out. I had everything I needed. My visuals was on point. I had my webcam feeding through on my live, but I had no sound. And I was using OBS Studios, and I'm not tech savvy, so I had no sound. And I'm thinking about using StreamYard and trying again, because I don't think my channel can grow if I'm not actually able to live stream. So I'll be looking to do that pretty soon, and hopefully you guys can tune in. Hopefully I can talk to you guys in real time, anybody who will watch. And I want you guys to tell me what happened here, because I think this will be the last lap I'm able to run. There was supposed to be 10 laps, but as you guys will see right now, I get canceled out at like 9 laps. You guys are gonna see. I don't know why, but I don't think they're gonna let me finish this race, because I remember I was at, and I think it's because I went off the track there. And again, it was because of this braking, man. This car doesn't want to brake in a straight line all the time. And I hate to sound like I'm making excuses, but I think it has something to do with that setup that I use. The setup that I use for Assetto Corsa Competizione, I don't think it's a universal setup that can be used for the original Assetto Corsa also. So I have to go back to the drawing board and find out, as I go extremely wide on this turn and completely blow it. I lose a lot of speed on that one, but That's another good thing I like about being in the muscle car is that a lot of times you make those mistakes, but as long as you got a straightaway, you can almost make up for some of those mistakes as long as you got a straight line to go into. And I'm on lap 10 of 10, and I don't know why, but when I ran this race in real time, I remember only being allowed to race 9 laps. So I'm not sure what's going on this replay, but we'll see as we get to the end, because I know it can't go any further than 10 laps because I chose a 10-lap race. So on the bright side is I'm getting very close to this Porsche, which is encouraging, because now we know that this Porsche is a pretty good, pretty fast car throughout this track. So staying so close to it is encouraging, and I think that I'm gonna catch him. Every time I think I'm going to catch this car, it just pulls off. And I guess that's part of the engineering of these European cars. They're so great, as far as weaving in and out of these turns and then getting back up to their top speed. So I'm kind of struggling as I lose it again, guys, right at the end. This is the last lap and I lost it again. And I think maybe this is why I got disqualified, because I go off the track multiple times. And I think this has something to do with why I wasn't able to finish with the other cars. So right at the end, guys, I completely blow it. But I wasn't passed up, and this lets me know that I created an extremely large distance between me and the car behind me. But I don't know, guys. This one was kind of hurt me. So I finished position 6. And they put me back in the pits. I don't know if I'm disqualified or what, but that was my first race taming my favorite car, the Mustang, and it wasn't a complete failure. I think I worked my way up to like P4, P3 at some point, got spun around, passed up, dropped down to P10, and worked my way back up to P6. So I don't think it was that bad all in all. I think today was a success. I think I learned a lot, but I don't know, man. Stay tuned for the next one. You guys are watching the journey of me mastering the American muscle king, the Mustang. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Give the video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And remember, if you want to win it, then you have to
SendIt.